Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you? I hope you're doing great. This is your host, Ahmed Mushtaq, and I just wanted to thank you so much for attending today's live webinar. We're very much excited, and there's a lot of good material to show today and learn, and of course, to collaborate, inshallah, in future projects if we can. And I just wanted to confirm if all of you can hear me. If you can hear me, please press the like button. This stream is live on LinkedIn. It is also live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So whatever channel or whatever social media account you're using, just hit the like button to make sure that we know that, okay, there are no problems. That if you find any issues with the stream, you can let us know in the comment section and our team members will have a look at it, because it's very important that you can hear my voice and also watch me live. If you can also see, sorry, here at the corner, if you can see the screen share, that I will expand it in a few minutes. If you can see that, I want you to let me know in the comment section. I know it's very tiny at the moment. We're going to expand it in the presentation mode very soon. But before we start, I wanted to introduce you to Quantum. And before that, inshallah, Ms. Sahrish is going to come live here and introduce the partnership between Sahabi and Quantum for these live webinars that we're very proud to have. And we'll continue having these, inshallah. So I will welcome Miss Sahrish. But before that, let me check in the chat section if there are any issues with the stream, if everything is working fine as expected. Give me just maybe a second. Okay, I will go to my channel, your channel. Okay, and 9 people watching right now. That's good, and I hope they will increase. Okay. All right. Welcome, Ahmed. Thanks to you. So happy to see you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Room. Okay, all is working fine. Thank you so much. So we can calmly go live. Just let me put Miss Sarish online. All right, Miss Sarish, the mic is yours. Yes, we can. Just a minute, let me check. Yeah, they can hear you, but it's a bit less. If you can uh, I can see your volume is here. We can catch your volume, but it's a bit less. Maybe if you can speak louder. Yeah, sure. Sure. We can repeat.
To have immense demand because we have immense demand for IT in today's age. Very often, my trainees come up and they ask for IT integration because working professionals, although having impeccable number crunching skills, lack integration into IT modules. Survey has provided us the opportunity to train people to become tech geeks while they are the best financial wizards as well. And we believe that this collaboration will bring impressive diversification into our field of mastery and will also maximize the potential for learning. Should I repeat?
No, no, it's fine. Everybody can hear. Everybody confirmed that they can hear you.
Okay, about the latest technological advancements in keeping oneself updated with the best of both fields, which is the finance and IT. And this is called the phenomenal disruptive combo that we have. And on this note, I'd like to hope you all a very productive and informative session today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Sarish. I'll take the mic to myself. And all right. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, everybody, for letting us know about the technical issues we were having. And it happens because it's not that natural, when you're in person, these hiccups could be avoided, but when we're doing a live session, it becomes very technical and it becomes a bit tricky. And apart from this, as you can know, that it is being live on multiple channels. Like right now on 4 different platforms, we're running this live, and we're very, very happy that you are very collaborative. You're very engaging right now, and you're letting us know in the channel, and we were able to quickly solve the issue. And let us know if something happens. I hope nothing would go wrong now, and unless and until I have a monster coming here, and by monster I mean my son. My sister is taking care of him right now, but if he comes here all of a sudden, so you might be able to see him. He's our little monster. Anyway, so let's dig in. And before we dig in, I just wanted to comment on the partnership that we had with Quantum, and why Quantum, why we selected Quantum. Quantum, mashallah, we have been looking at how active they are in terms of providing training courses. And we noticed that there's a gap in the market, that a lot of people who get graduated from college and they have a background in IT, they have a background in development, but when they go and reach the market, they do have that huge gap, and it takes like 1 or 2 or maybe sometimes 3 years to fill that gap in knowledge. And what we wanted to do is, it's a CSR program, you would say. From our side, we want to spread as much technical knowledge as possible and relevant knowledge and information. You might, for example, know what is search engine. You might know about SEO. You might know about how the different theoretical stuff and all the details, but a lot of people do not know the concepts, the basics, and the practical steps or tools or techniques that you could use to help your organizations or even your startup if you're running if you're a founder, for instance. So yeah, we're very much excited to present this topic to you, and we're looking forward to having your questions in the comment section and also after this webinar. So without further ado, let's start our presentation. And in this presentation, you cannot see my camera, which makes me feel sad. Let me just add myself here. Give me a second. All right, it might take some time, but it's okay. If you don't see my face for one day, that's totally fine. I think so. All right, so search engine optimization. Ladies and gentlemen, what is search engine optimization? Uh, before we understand what it is exactly, let's first make sure that all of us are on the same understanding and same page when it comes to search engines. Search engines, uh, we cannot live without them. In today's age, a lot of people might just call them Google, but there are other competitors as well, such as Yahoo, Yandex, AOL is not working anymore, but Bing, for instance, these are different search engines which are actually software programs uh, in the cloud that allows you to look for information, look for documents, and now search engines are pretty advanced that you can even ask questions and they will understand your intent and give you relevant information. Believe me or not, we might think this is second nature, but it is a huge feat and it is a huge technological advancement that search engines are now able to understand your intent, which allows them to find the exact information that they're looking for. An example of an intent would be, for example, if you want to say, right, what is the capital of Saudi? Okay. And it gave you the name of the city immediately. Now, this is because the search engines right now are capable to understand your intent, that this is a question and you want the answer quickly rather than just showing you a list of pages and then you click on that page and then you find that information. If you use Google in back in late 1990s or early 2000, you might have remembered that the search engines were very simple. You would just see listings, and that's because it was only creating and showing you a database of different indexed pages. All right. So if we talk about numbers, 84% of internet users use search engines. I believe it's more than that because right now, if you're using an Android phone or even a iOS phone and you open your browser, the first thing you might see is a search engine. And so, yeah, I think it would be more than this number. But let's say, to be realistic, it's 84% of the whole population, internet population. They use search engines. And out of that pie, out of that portion, we have 80% that are able to find what they're looking for. Okay. And out of that pie, we have 44% that are able to find critical information thanks to different companies who have come to an understanding that the more information they share online, the more loyalty they will create for their audiences. So even vital information, what do we mean by vital information? For example, uh, if you want to search anything related to a medicine, let's say that is a vital information, right? Or let's say any nutrition, like how many, I'm on keto diet right now and I want to know how many carbs are there in watermelon, okay, which is very, by the way, for your information, is a very good keto fruit if you are into keto diet. Okay, so I know that there are 8 grams of total carbohydrate in 100 grams of watermelon. All right. So this is a vital information for me. And it is right in front of me without opening any page, and I can see it directly. So this is an example of a vital information. And other examples are, as I mentioned earlier, if you're searching for, let's say, what is inside a medicine. If a medicine, can you use the medicine on on a certain diet, for example, or if you have what side effects could be of Panadol, for example, side effects of Panadol, for example. All right. So here you go. You got that relevant vital information right in front of you. So that's 44%. And why it's less is because a lot of times, uh, if I tell you, a lot of times what happens is that uh, many companies or many organizations, they neglect that advanced snippet information, because our search engine, for example Google, tries its best to find that relevant information inside web pages, but some pages are very complex, and such organizations lose visibility on search engine listings, because they have made their page so complex that even Google cannot interpret that information. So their competitors are able to show that information to their audiences very, very like in an advantageous mode. Yani. Apart from this, among all search engines, my friends, Google is the king here. And why Google is the king? It's because they keep updating their search engine algorithm, and webmasters like us, we do hate that, because we have to keep up with all those advancements Google is trying to make to improve the search experience. But at the end of the day, Google understands that if it doesn't have the audience, it will also lose us, the webmasters who are taking care of different websites. So Google, again, is a search engine. It's a crawler-based search engine. What do we mean by a crawler? But guys, we are on the fourth slide here. Just wanted to understand, if you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer those questions here live, because this is an interactive session and I don't want to be like a one-way communication channel. So feel free to ask questions in the channel. What I would do is I would go to my click and see if there are any questions forwarded to me by my team. So team, I'm just writing down to my team member, team, please forward me any questions that you see in the social media channel. Okay, so I'm writing this down in our internal communication channel. Inshallah, any questions coming from your side, I would love to answer those, and my team will also answer those. Okay, so Google is a crawler based search engine. What do we mean by crawler? Now, crawlers, my friends, uh, is a bot, is a program which are designed by search engines to navigate to different websites. Now, how does a crawler work? Is it works through a network of different web pages. For example, if you open a topic on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is already indexed by Google, and if you put your website on a page that, okay, for more information on this equipment, the reference is this website, Google actually goes through that Wikipedia article, and when they find your website there as a link, it will crawl to that website, and then it will start indexing your website, and whatever pages or links you have in your website, Google will keep adding it to its indexing database, so it can show it to its users. Now, this mechanism is called crawling, and Google has a lot of crawlers that does that. Like it doesn't have just one crawler, and they keep going through the web, finding as much information as possible, and then putting it back on the search results. All right, so that is called crawling. And it is not just limited to web pages. It includes documents, PDFs, presentations, and images. And it supports full Boolean searching. Boolean searching means that if you're looking for a specific yes or no answer, so Google does also provide that information. So, for example, if you write, is Riyadh the capital of Saudi Arabia? So you might probably get yes, or you probably might get Riyadh as a capital. So that's a Boolean searching. Then uh, Google directory is a listing of demos. So Google also maintains a separate directory where you can find all the websites there, but people are not using it anymore because it's much easier to just write down anything you want to look for in Google, and here you go, you'll find that information. All right. So what are the components of search engines? I know this is a bit technical, but I will try to make it as friendly as possible. Let me just quickly check if there are any questions from your side. Looks like so far so clear. So I already mentioned what is a crawler. Almost every search engine has this mechanism. And then index program. What is an index program? Whenever a crawler finds a new page, it stores that in the index, which is handled by the index program. Index program is basically a all right. So index program is basically you could say a database of all the pages that Google keeps crawling. And I think I probably already mentioned this before, but just to for the to make sure that we have the concepts clear. So index programs are are responsible for maintaining that database of all the web pages. All right. And then we have our search engine software. Search engine software is the final piece of the puzzle, which actually links whatever you are searching in the input box of Google, or in the whenever you open Google and whatever you're searching there. The search engine algorithm or software is responsible for linking whatever information, I'm sorry, yes, whatever information is there in the index program and linking it with your particular keyword. So let's say if I write side effects of Panadol night, okay? So when I searched this, it went into the search engine software or search engine algorithm, and it the algorithm tries to match my keyword, which is this keyword, with the database, with the listing, and sees which one is more relevant, because all these results that you see are in fact part of that indexing system. But Google decides based on its algorithm that which one to show first, which one is the most relevant information. And as you can see that we have a lot of pages and thousands of results. Google take cares of that tedious task. That okay, Google does its best guess that okay, I'm looking for this information, and it gives you right there. And that is why we're using Google products. That is the core business of Google, my friends. Now you might ask, uh, let me change the view so it feels more natural. So you might ask, Ahmed, okay, we're trying to understand how Google works, but what is the catch here? Like, why do we need to understand these concepts and why it is important? It is very, very crucial. And the reason is because if we don't understand these concepts, we'll not be able to understand how can we rank better in search results. And if we don't rank better in search results, it means we're losing customers, because as we can see, more than 84%, based on the stats, more than 84% of the internet population is using the internet, using the search engine, I mean. So, in order to reach those people, to reach your target audience, we need to provide as relevant information as possible, and we are going to cover that in the next slides. All right, I'll go to presentation mode. Okay, so how search engines rank a page? So they rank pages based on two factors. There are factors related to on page, and then there are factors related to off page. Okay, and we're going to cover both. And before we cover, I just wanted to check if there is any questions from your side. Feel free to ask them in the comment section, and I will answer that question live here. And if you want, I can also use your name. All right. If the stream is working fine, you're not having any issues, please press the like button so we'll know. And if you're facing any issues, please let us know in the comment section. Okay, so how search engines rank a page? They rank a page on different factors, and they're divided into two broad categories. So the first one is on-page rank factors, okay, and then the second one is off-page rank factors. And by on-page, as you guessed it, are factors related to your website. What do I mean by that? So these all parameters or factors are can be controlled. So the good news is can be controlled by you if you work on your website. And it is if your website is optimized for on-page SEO, there's a very high chance if this keyword is performing very well. What I mean by performing is actually a lot of people are searching for this, and I'll show you a tool where you can see what people are searching for on Google. If that is so, then it is highly recommended to have a separate page for this keyword, because if you have a separate page for a certain keyword, it signals Google that yani for you, this keyword is important and you are the authority on this keyword. So it makes sense to show you first instead of other pages, because you have the exact keyword in your page title and it's also there on your web page. So that is called keywords targeting. Then this one is a bit technical. HTML tags. There are, if you search for SEO HTML tags on Google, all right, there are different. Okay, if you search for tag generator, okay, you can go here. All right, and here you go. This website will create free tags for you that you can include in all your pages, and you can ask your webmaster or the person who is responsible for your website to include these tags. So, what do we mean by these different tags? These are very straightforward. Like, let's say side effects of Panadol Night. So you're creating a page. First of all, of course, you need to create that page. But let's say your site title would be side effects of Panadol Night, or this looks very spammy. It's better to go with this. Learn more about side effects, because this looks more human friendly. Learn more about side effects of Panadol Night, okay, and its benefits. Okay, you can cover both. All right. Now, what Google would do is, if your page has this side effects of Panadol Night, and throughout time, because Google crawlers take time to index different websites, throughout time, when Google comes to your page, it will store this page in its indexing system. And whenever someone searches for side effects for Panadol Night, there's a very high chance, if your competitors have not yet published a related page, you will be ranked nearly in the top. Okay? And of course, a site description. The site description is this information that you see under the title. So this is the title. So you would see this in the title, and this is the description that you would see. So you need to mention the description. Now, it's important to include the keyword that you want to rank for in the description. So for example, if this is side effects of Panadol Night, you can write a human-friendly copy, like many people wonder about side effects of Panadol Light, and we have covered this information with the help of researchers, okay, in this comprehensive, for example, page. Okay, wow, we have reached almost the limit. So there is a limit, I think 140 characters, and that you should abide to. Okay, so now this is the description that people would see here. Now, of course, there are two things you should always take care of. One is the search engine part, which is that, okay, the keyword, Google now knows that the keyword is there. The other part is to make it human friendly. A lot of times, SEO experts, what they do is they ignore the human friendly part and they just focus on the Google part. That, okay, it's only just important to have uh, what is it called? It's important to have only consider Google. I believe so. My camera died. Let me just add my camera. Hello, guys. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. All right. I hope the camera is better now. Just let me focus. All right. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Please let me know if everything is working fine and you can see me. And okay, so I'll resume from where I ended. So a lot of times SEO experts, what they do is they ignore the part where you're supposed to be human friendly, which is uh, it's not just important that you just please Google and you ignore the humans that are actually uh, making the call to click on your website once they see the search results. An example would be that let me show you in presentation mode. An example would be that if you're searching for side effects of Panadol Night, and what you do is you just include this like this, side effects of Panadol Night, and in description you mention that, and in keywords people don't see keywords, so it's fine. But what you're doing is basically is just doing the minimal work just to make Google happy. And by the way, even Google will not be happy by this. But now, for a human being, this, if I see this on a search results, this is not catchy. This is not friendly at all. So what would happen eventually is that I'm not going to click on it. And if Google notice that, okay, a person saw your search result and he's not clicking on it and he's clicking on your competitor, which is down there, this will indicate to Google that you're not relevant. And eventually what would happen is Google will put you even down here in the search results and maybe even into the second or third page. And believe me, nobody goes to the second or third page. At least I don't go to the second or third page. I just focus on the first few results and that's it. All right. So it's very important to be not just Google friendly, but also human friendly by having to make sure that your title and your description is catchy and clickable. All right. So now these are some meta tags. A lot of experts right now, they say that the keywords are not that relevant anymore because keywords were introduced initially when Google launched in 1999 when there were no the algorithm was not that smart enough. So Google was relying on what different websites are using as keywords, but this is not the case anymore. And Google is smart enough to go through your pages and count the keywords itself. Okay, so these are some meta tags, and these are some default settings that you can keep yes. And when you click on generate meta tags, okay, we need to Panadol night. Okay, so when you click on generate meta tags, okay, so this is it. You can copy to clipboard and you can send it to your developer to include it in your website. Now, I know you might be wondering, this is an old school way of doing it. Now, you're right, actually. So what happens is that different content management systems, such as WordPress, and so we have like WordPress. Okay, WordPress, which is a famous content management system. It does have built-in plugins and third-party plugins as well that allows you to take care of this part. But you do have to input this information into WordPress, okay, using their system. Even Wix, for example, has these features. If you're using GoDaddy, a website builder, they also have these features. So the generator, the meta tag generator is built in these content management systems. So you don't have to use a third-party tool. When you have to use a third-party tool, when, for example, you are creating, your developer has created a page without any content management system. It's just an HTML page, and there is no system behind that page to edit any content. And whenever you want to edit any content, you're relying on your developer. That's a huge indicator that you're not using a content management system. All right. Anchor text and URL. What does it mean by URL? URL is this part. Okay, so when we click Panadol night caplets, this is the URL part. Okay, and if your keywords, the people who are searching for, let's say, side effects of Panadol night, if it's there in the URL like this, of course, this will be, I'm telling you, a very high rank page if someone is searching for this. Okay, because Google will pick that and will see, all right, so you have the keyword in the URL as well. It means you have a dedicated page for this topic, which means you're giving importance to this topic. And since you're giving priority to this topic, I will respect that and I will put you first in the search results, or at least second, third, or fourth. Okay, depending on how credible your website is. Okay. So date of the article published, this also matters. So let's say if your competitor also have published a page on side effects of Panadol Night, then Google sees which page is more older. The older a page is, there's a high chance that it will have more credibility because the page, yani that company gave importance to that topic earlier on, for instance. Now, this is not the only factor. There are other factors as well: how the page is organized, how is your website speed, if people are even clicking on your search result or not. So these are other factors as well. But yeah, Google does consider numerous factors when it comes to ranking a certain page. Okay, now let me just check the click channel. Guys, if there are any questions, please feel free to let me know, and hit the like button uh, if everything is working fine again, and use the comment section if you have any problems with the screen. Okay. Length of the content. Okay, length of the content is very crucial. They say, when I say they, I mean the search engine experts, that if a page has 700 words, that is an ideal page to rank on Google. If you have less than 700 words or even less than 500 words, for instance, Google might not consider you that much. It doesn't mean that, okay, you write a whole book of, like, say, 5,000 words. No, on average, 700 to 1,000 words per page is good enough to rank in Google. All right. But if your competitor have more words on their page, there's a high chance that Google will give them a score for that factor. Okay, so enough with on-page factors. We'll jump to off-page factors. And off-page factors are factors that are not directly in your control. You have an indirect control over them, and they are done outside your website. What are some off-page factors? Link building. What is link building? Link building is that Now, for example, you want to rank well for side effects of pendulum night. So what you would do is you are going to approach medical influencers, let's say nurses or doctors that have a lot of following on their blog, on their website blog, or maybe even on social media. And what you do is you request them to have your link in one of their blog posts. And if you do that, since they're already a leader in their niche, and Google understands that, and now Google sees that they're linking back to you, to your website, that is a huge signal to Google that you are among the famous ones. You're among the worthy ones, and I should give you a score. Now, link building is very important, but keep in mind that these off-page factors are not going to help you if you are ignoring the on-page factors. So it's very important that you start with on-page factors. Make sure that all of these are super excellent on all your pages, and then you start focusing on off-page factors, because you cannot fix a home if everything is broken inside. And no matter how many people you invite from outside, no matter how much help you want to ask from outside, your house will still suck because there are broken things inside. Okay, so it's very crucial to make sure that you have done your homework with on-page factors. And then once you're done with that, you move on to off-page factors, okay, which includes link building, which I already covered, and link popularity. What is link popularity? Okay, so it is related to link building, but in a sense that how how good or how good in quality are those external link building relationships. Okay, that is called link popularity. So, for example, if you have, let's say, you can hire so many students to go create a website and then link back to you. So you might hire 100 students, who every student you might give them, let's say, 15 reals, 20 reals, maybe even 50 reals. I don't know if someone will accept 20 reals now. Let's say if you give each one 50 reals and ask them, okay, go create 100 pages and then link back to you. Now, this is also called spamming. Google might give you a score initially, and then throughout time will decrease your score, because it will do its retrospective and see if those links are quality links or not. And there's a chance that your score might even go low, because Google uh, might find out that you were following. I'm not saying you will do, but yeah, one was following uh, spam a spammy way of link building. On the other way around, if you try to approach famous influencers, people who are already famous in your niche, because your niche, keep in mind, is medicine related, or pharmaceutical related. So it is important that you look for websites that are in these niche. So when they link back to you, it's a credible link. It's not considered as a spammy link. All right. Okay. I will go to the next one, which is Anchor. What is an anchor? Now, Anchor is actually, let's open a website. Let's say if I open this one. Okay. And on this website, you see that there are different links. Now, this is an internal link to their own website, which is called Before You Take a Panadol Night. Now, if I open this in a new page or new tab, this is a separate link, but this text is called anchor text, Before You Take Panadol Night. Now, since we know that Google crawls different websites, so it's important to for Google that this anchor text also matches with the keyword that people are searching for, which is this side effects of Pandol night. So if and anchor text here has like side effects of pendulum night, then Google will give you a better score because it is very relevant. Keep in mind why Google is giving these different scores. It's not that Google likes to judge different websites, it's because Google wants to make sure that it is providing relevant information to its customers and its users. And who are Google's customers? They're people who are searching on Google products. And if the longer people use Google products, the better is for Google because Google will show different display ads on what is it called on its different platforms, right? And the last approach is there are also other approaches that we might cover in another webinar, but this one, article marketing and press releases. This is very much similar to link building, but it isn't different in a sense that you are hiring different marketing agencies and news agencies to talk about you, and Google does reward that as well, but not that much as when you ask a relevant website to link back to you. Okay, but it does work in some way or another because these news websites and marketing agency websites, they are uh, already very credible, and because people are looking for information on these websites, so when they link back to your website, of course you'll have to pay to them, and you might also have to pay to these influencers. That's pretty normal and understandable. So when you do that, Google does give you a score for this. All right, so these are some factors that we already covered. Okay. Okay, so I already covered the keywords part. How to do keywords competition analysis. Now, this is the most exciting part because it's very practical. So if you search for keyword planner, it's a free tool by Google. Okay. Okay. I have a question from someone. My team just informed me that they need information on date of article published uh, in the on-page SEO. Can you elaborate your question further, please? Whoever asked this question, date of article published. But I'm gonna repeat that part. Let me just go back. Okay. So the date of article published, let me go back to on-page SEO. Okay. So the date of article published. So how does it affect the question? I assume your question is how this will affect on-page rank factor, like how it would affect the on-page SEO. So this this plays a role when you're competing against other websites because if you're the one who first published the article, there's a certain amount of score. Google will reward you for being first in ranking for a certain article. Now, keep in mind that this is very rare because the content is so much right now online. But yeah, let's imagine there is a new product launched recently, and you came to know about it from someone inside that company. That product is not launched right now, and what you do is you go immediately on your website or you create a new website and you write an article about that product. Okay, and now what happens is that that product is launched, and before launching, that company of course creates their website, they puts the name of their product on that page. But now, since you're the one who first launched information about that product, even though you're not the company responsible for producing that product. But since you're the first who published that article, Google will give you a certain amount of score. Okay. But it doesn't mean that you can sabotage any company because those companies already have, you might have the name of that product in their URL as well, and 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 in URL, the more close you are to the domain, the better is for you to rank well. So, for example, this website will might rank less if I have another website called Panadol side effects. Okay, side effects.com. So if I have this website, which is all dedicated for talking about side effects on Panadol, Google, there's a high chance that Google will give this website more score than this one, which only have the Panadol side effects as a page. Okay. Same goes, let's say Apple is not launched yet and they're about to launch, and you know you're a friend of Steve Jobs, for example, and he just revealed his secrets to you that I'm going to launch a company called Apple. And if Google was there at that time, Google was not there at that time. And what you do is you launch news, you have news.com, and you have this, you create a page called Apple, okay? Apple products. Okay. And now someone searches on Google, they might see you on the top, but eventually Steve Jobs will win because he owns apple.com. Okay. So in the start, you might win because you came first, but then, and you came first, and when we say first, that is what I mean, date of article published or date of page published. It doesn't have to be just article, or it could be website as well. Okay. So now Apple, your page ranks well in the start, but now apple.com came into the game and they will beat you because they have Apple in their domain itself. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is this alone does not let you win. You have to play with all the factors, and Google never announces which factor has a better score for good reasons, so people don't abuse the system. But it does consider all these factors. I hope I was able to answer your question. And I have another one. Uh, can you please divide the score for each factor from 0 to 100 that Google may calculate? Any rough idea? Okay, so as I just I was just talking about this. It's good that you asked. There is no way Google is going to reveal this scoring of each item. Okay, and even Google does not reveal, like, it just gives hints, but it does not reveal that which off-site. Let me go back to the off-site. Yeah, which off-site factor is better than the other one. Okay, but what SEO experts have concluded based on experience and working on different websites, that it starts with like this. The top one are the most important one and the last one are the least important one, and same goes here. The top one are the most important one and the last one are the least important ones. All right. I have a video on uh, .sa domain, I think. I believe so. I had a video on that. Let me search. Let me show you, not this one. So if I go back to my channel, your channel, if, yeah, it's under my videos. And yes, let me go my playlist, test. Okay. Wasif, can you please find the search engine video that I have? I think I'm not able to find it. There are so many videos. And please share with the audience if you don't mind. All right. That's a very nice question. Please keep the questions coming. All right. So, keywords competition analysis. Okay. Okay, we're talking about keyword planner here. So this is the keyword planner from Google, which is an excellent tool to do some research on different keywords. It actually gives you, let me open Sahabi, okay. Discover Okay, so I'll click on get search volume. And now taking the same example that we had, side effects of Panadol night, and if I search for it, okay, I see that in Saudi Arabia, there are on a monthly basis, there are 100 to 1,000 people searching for this keyword, and the competition is low. Now, keep in mind that this competition is for Google Ads, not for SEO. So a lot of people do confuse this with SEO, because SEO is organic, and this one is related to how many people are actually running ads to this. But here, this one is what we're looking for. It gives you a indication that if this page is if this keyword is worthy of the time and effort and energy that you're going to spend in creating a page for this. Okay. Another example would be, okay, if you, let's say if your product, if you're selling something in the US, so let's say you can write United States as a country and click save. And in United States, it's also low. All right, let's go with the worldwide levels. And if you click save, so on a worldwide level, it's 1K to 10K. Okay, people are worried about side effects of Panadol night. Now let's change our keywords and see if there is. Okay, let me do. Let me go back. Okay, and what I would do is I will write Apple iPhone 13. Okay, and let's see how many people are searching for this. Wow. So on a global level, there are 100K to 1 million average monthly searches for Apple iPhone 13. So here you go. And the competition is also very high in terms of Google Ads. And no, of course, you have to ignore this if you are wondering to rank organically using search engine optimization. So you should ignore this. This is only relevant if you want to run ads. Okay. So here you go. Google Keyword Planner is a tool from Google which helps you uh, get average volume or search volume for a certain keyword that you're looking for. Okay, and this also works in Arabic. It doesn't have to be English, so you can use both. Just keep in mind when you're searching for Arabic, you have to change the language from here. Okay, and you can change the language here. Like let's say if you select Saudi Arabia as a country, and historically measured reflects searchable keyword. Okay, go to keywords. So here, and now I'll write, let's say, iPhone. Get results. Okay. So wow, there in Saudi alone, people who are searching for iPhone are between 10K to 100K. Okay, good number. Competition is high. And then these are some keyword ideas from Google, which is amazing because it gives you different ideas, like what people are searching for. Like they are searching for iPhone 11 Pro prices. And then the nice thing you can do is you can rank the ones that are high. So you can click on this to rank. So turns out to be iPhone 12 is more famous than iPhone 13. I believe so. No, it's actually iPhone. Sorry, it's the iPhone 11, which is more famous, and iPhone 12 is equally famous. Yeah. So here you go. And then you can prioritize your efforts. You can see that, okay, I should not focus on this one. I should be focusing on this one, for instance. But keep in mind there, you need to consider the intent of the user as well, because here someone was searching for iPhone 11 price. There's a high chance that he's or she is serious to buy this phone. Okay, this person who is writing iPhone 11, he just wanted to know more about iPhone 11. But this person, if you're selling iPhone 11, for instance, you should be, even though the volume is less, but the intent is very high, that this person, if you give them an offer, they might go with your page. All right. So any questions, guys? Okay. Yes. Okay. I believe Wasif found the video. So this is the video on increase and grow website traffic organically with the right TLD domain. If you have time, you can watch it on my channel, and Wasif will share. My colleague Wasif will share it in the comment section. All right, so I have another question. For new websites, if they have no following, will it have good effect to link back? Okay, I'll repeat the question. So the question is, if there is a new website and they don't have any following, will it have good effect to link back? Yes, it would if you have done the your homework, which is the on-page SEO. Okay, if Google comes to your website from a link back, so initially your score might be high, but if they Google sees that okay, you're not serious about your on-page SEO, then it might decrease your score. Okay, so it's very important. At the end, web copywriting means that based on these ideas, so these are different ideas. People are like, guys, the market is open there, and people are searching for so many different things. You just write here, and you're gonna find so many ideas, and these ideas are real searches done by people in Saudi Arabia, for example. So what is the conclusion out of this? The conclusion is that if you are a copywriter yourself, you are comfortable and you can dedicate at least writing one page every day, then just pick up the keywords, choose the keywords that you think will bring you customers, and write article around that keyword. Have that keyword in your titles, in your description, in your URL, and then of course in the body as well, so you can rank well in Google. So that can be possible only if you have good content, okay, and you have interesting material to for people to read. Okay, I know that a lot of people are now going towards social media. They want to spend time on social media, but still they when they want to look for answers, they don't go for social media, they go for Google. So that's the conclusion, guys. And thank you so much for being with us. We're almost 7 minutes over the time. And if you have any questions, so I have another question, which is competition is low, but KD is high and KD is workable. I'm sorry, I did not understand KD. Can you please elaborate this, guys? If you have any questions, this is your time. Uh, Please let me know, and I would love to answer. Okay, I have a question. Does this require a person to be a developer, or can the person who update the website information can make the changes required, such as updating the keyword and HTML tags and so on? Okay. Wow, this is a very relevant question. Okay, so and I'll repeat it basically. So the person is inquiring that in order to do SEO, does one have to be a developer, uh, or it can be done by a normal person like who is not a developer? Yes, absolutely. Of course, you don't have to be a developer, but then if you're not a developer, you need to use some ready-made website makers, such as Wix is an example, Zoho website maker. So, Easy Website Builder, for example, is another online tool that you can use. You can use GoDaddy Website Builder, okay? And you have to pay them a subscription on a monthly basis, which is very cheap. And as long as you are consistent, the important factor here is consistency. If you're consistent with your content, you will rank very well. And you don't have to rely on a developer unless and until you are using a complex system such as WordPress or any other content management system. And it really depends how technical you are. And if reminds me of WordPress Jeddah, if you want to sharpen your skills in website building, do join this community of more than 2,000 members that we have, and we do try to meet every now and then. And this webinar is was also like broadcasted over this channel. But yeah, it's a community of developers, and if people do ask questions, they collaborate together, and you can maybe also hire developers from here. So yeah, you're most welcome to join this community as well. Any other questions? Okay, so I'll get back to the same question someone had, which is competition is low, but keyword difficulty is high, and what keyword difficulty is workable. Okay, so this question I believe is related to uh, the keywords, and by keyword difficulty you mean that basically means how competitive the keyword is. Keyword difficulty is used basically on tools such as SEMrush and Moz. So where it tells you that okay, if a keyword how much a keyword is difficult to rank. Okay, if there are a lot of competition. So these are some tools that you can use. SEMrush. Okay, but back to the question. So the question is competition is low, but keyword difficulty is high. Uh, and is it workable? No, of course it's not workable. Well, let's say if the volume is low and the competition is also high, uh, why would you put your energy into it? Because even if you rank very well, you will not get that ROI, the return on your investment from time and money. So it's better to look for a blue ocean, to look for a keyword, or sometimes there are keywords that might come in the future. Let's say, who knew that Riyadh season will be an hit? And a couple of years back, if you knew this, that okay, there might be a season about Riyadh, and you started posting about it in advance, okay, so now you're very relevant, and once in future someone searches about it, and there will be high volume of people searching about it, and the competition is already low because you're the one who is writing about it, and it might take others to take time to write a post about it. All right, so you might get on the top very easily. Why? Because the search volume all of a sudden increased, and the competition is already low. Okay, so you should look for such keywords. Okay. Another question, what should be the frequency of article posting? Okay, so there is no magic number that how frequent you should be in posting articles on your website. But just don't be spammy. Try to have quality content, because Google does track that how many times people are leaving your website, or are they sticking. Like if someone comes to your website and they just they opened it, then they closed in after 1 or 2 seconds. That's an indicator to Google that you are not relevant, your content is not good. So focus on quality, don't focus on quantity, and just be frequent. If you're only capable of posting one article per week, just make sure that you stick to this schedule and you keep this frequency and you remain consistent. Keep posting an article every week, because seriously, Google does give score to those who are consistent. So if you're posting on a consistent basis, Google can sense that you're disciplined and you're serious about this. So Google will start pushing your content on the top, because now Google can rely on you, you know. So now it's not just a matter of relevancy, but it's also a matter of reliability, that you're a person who is reliable and you're taking content seriously. Okay. So, all right, that would be the last question. Guys, if you have any questions, uh, please feel free to send me an email. My email is ahmed@sahbi.com. Sorry, ahmed@sahbi.com. Wasit, please post us in the channel as well. And you can reach out to me if you have any questions related to this topic. And of course, you can put it in your comment section as well, in the comment section of these channels. Thank you so much again for your time and for your questions. And I'm going to stop the stream right here, right now.